Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be episode 1 of Scratch That TBR. I'm going to be reading some books, doing some other things, and just hanging out with you all. Video is going to be one of my longer videos, so keep that in mind when watching. Grab a snack, your favorite beverage, and let's get into it. Firstly, before the video officially begins, I'm recording this on May 21st, which is near the end of the vlog. Currently, I have 482 books on my physical TBR. I would like to hopefully get that down to maybe 400 by the end of the year, but we'll see how things go. I may read stuff more quickly than others. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave in the comments anything you would like to see or things that I could improve or anything like that. And yeah, so let's begin.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you're lying in the shadows of my room. Oh, always heard your voice, I forget the sound now. You're awfully quiet while I cry out for you. Oh, I know you don't have much to say, yeah, that's clear now. But I won't keep on giving you grace while my heart's broken. But you take the time away to clear your head out. But I had so much to say, and you let me get away still. Well, I still cry, I won't lie, but you'll never know, you'll never know if I'm fine. Am I alright? Well, you'll never know, you'll never know. You took this path on your own time without giving us a try. So we'll never know, we'll never know. You came into my life at the right point, and now you're leaving when it gets hard. Should've kept it straight from the jump. Why'd we come this far to get this far? I should leave it alone, 'cause there's no proof of you staying. Your mind was made up a couple months ago. Oh no, I know you don't have much to say, yeah, that's clear now. But I won't keep on giving you grace while my heart's broken. But you take the time away to clear your head out. I don't got nothing to say. How could you let me get away still? Well, I still cry, I won't lie, but you'll never know, you'll never know if I'm fine. Am I alright? Well, you'll never know, you'll never know. You took this path on your own.
So I don't usually do that before going to bed, but I figured I'd do that today, just to kind of feel nice and pampered and stuff. Just had a shower, as you can tell. I guess this is the start of the very first Scratch That TBR vlog. It used to be called Scratch That TBR Itch, which, like, what's itchy? Like, anyway. So I'm just sitting here in my pajamas and gonna do some reading, probably. Actually show you the book I'm currently reading. I've already done quite a few scratch cards already. Just to kind of test it out to see if it's something I can continue with, and I can, so good news. So yeah, I will show you the book I'm currently reading. And that book is If We Were Villains by ML Rio. I'm about that far into it. Yay, far into it. And I'm pretty much enjoying it. The last part that I read was really, like, shook me to my core. Have read this book, you know what I'm talking about. Just gonna say the lake. It's at the end of Act 2. that I'm referring to. This has been going good. I've definitely been on the reading train lately. One day I finished 6 books. 4 of those were like manga volumes and 2 of those were like books under 200 pages. That was a huge accomplishment, and I stayed up late and did all that. I had the day off today, so I read up until at the end of Act 2. So that's all the reading I've done so far today. It is currently, what time it is? What time is it? It's 8:03. So I'm probably gonna read for, I don't know, just when I feel like stopping, because there's no time limit obviously to this challenge. It's pretty much me. I have work tomorrow from 10 till 5, so don't know if I'll get any reading done. I'll probably get some reading done during one of my breaks. Yeah, hopefully I can find some interesting stuff to put in these videos other than just me getting ready or whatever. Unless you enjoy that, let me know if you do enjoy watching people do stuff, like get ready and stuff, because I can do that. I also have a Lego set that I want to build on camera, which would probably be pretty cool to do. I'll look forward to that in one of these videos. I'm so rusty because I've not been on camera very much, and I'm kind of like, what do I do for angles? What do I do for shots? What do I do, you know, for content? Hi there. I'm feeling very tired today, so probably won't be vlogging all that much, but I'm up to page 284 of If We Were Villains, I think. That's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah, If We Were Villains. Feeling very tired. Just gonna chill out tonight and maybe read a bit later. I did read a bit during my break today at work. And yeah, so hope you're doing good. Time to relax. Hi there. It's been more than a week since I last updated. Oops. 4 days ago, I think. No. Yes, 4 days ago, I finished If We Were Villains. I ended up giving this 4 stars. It was really good, but not great. There were a few like little things that I had like issues with. I did write a review on Pagebound of this. Like, unless you're on Pagebound, you can't really find it. So I'm just gonna read it out and then add some extra bits in to kind of share my thoughts on the book and the characters and the plot and stuff like that. Yes, I'm just gonna read the review. As much as I like Shakespeare, which was a huge portion of this book, the characters like talked in like Shakespeare quotes and like Shakespearean adjacent quotes for a lot of the book. I tended to gloss over the lines from it just to get to the meat of the story, because I wasn't like, I've only read a few of Shakespeare's plays, so I haven't been like really in depth towards Shakespeare's work. So I'm sure if I had read more of the Bard, I would double my enjoyment. Other than that, the quality of prose and writing style can just be put up to Oliver's, who is the main character, embellishments rather than a third-person narration. I wish there were maybe 6 or even 5 characters, because there were 7 main characters. Because at first the characters seemed to sort of blend together and it was hard to distinguish them. As the story went on, the distinctions, however, were made clearer. I love that this story was separated into scenes and acts, which made it go quickly when you're in the mood to read it. I certainly had to put it down at points because of the grotesque things that happened, but it wasn't altogether a gore fest. It was more of the dread of what was to come. I think maybe the story would have had more impact if it wasn't enveloped by the present day settings, because if you don't know, if you haven't read If We Were Villains, it starts out like sort of in the present day. The setup is like the main character is telling the story to someone. But I guess it sort of speaks to like Shakespeare's storytelling in a way. What I mean is that the play or players are often revealed at the beginning of the play, like in Romeo and Juliet, for example, because at the beginning of Romeo and Juliet, they're like kind of prologue-y scene where it's like explaining like, we're in fair Verona, where really are seen. And it's like, there's 2 households, both alike in dignity, and blah blah blah. So I also mentioned in my review, it would be interesting to see if there was some sort of adaptation of this book, though I'm unsure how it would look. I also mentioned that there is some dated and racially insensitive language that appeared in the book, and it seems to be like a repeat thing with this author. So, for example, one of the things that I noticed in the book, that the characters were all in theater class and they were sitting cross-legged in a circle. The author, or the character, whichever actually described it as storybook Indians. And there were a couple other things as well that kind of wavered my enjoyment, because it took me out of the book a little bit, because it was just like, whoa, okay. Overall, the characters and plot were good, but not outstanding. There was a certain one dimension to some of them that I can't shake past. I could tell this book took inspiration from The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I've read, though it certainly made a lot of things its own. I also liked this book better than The Secret History. I also thought in the last 50 pages, which I had been like putting off to read, everything happened in the last 50 pages that like answered all the questions and did all the blah blah blah. So it felt a bit rushed, and I wish it was more spread out. So that's my review. I don't think I actually talked what this book is about, what the plot of this book is, or the premise. It does say in the synopsis that the present day setting is like the main character is released from jail and the detective wants to really know the truth about what happened when he was back in college before he got arrested and everything. And then Oliver is finally ready to tell this story a decade ago. So this book is actually set in 1997. So present day would probably be like 2007. Yes, I can do math. A decade ago, Oliver is one of 7 young Shakespearean actors at Delaware Classical Conservatory, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. In the secluded world of firelight and leather-bound books, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and as off: hero, villain, tireless, temptress, ingenue, and extra. But in their 4th and final year, good-natured rivalries turn ugly, and on opening night, real violence invades the students' world of make-believe. Yeah, so basically, something bad happens, obviously, and it's really criminal in nature. They have to kind of hide and keep secrets and all this, and they don't know what really happened. Yeah, so I'm not going to explain more because that would spoil the book. So that's with this book, and I'm glad that I read it, but definitely had those issues of like skim reading through the Shakespearean quotes and also the insensitive language. But now I'm so excited because I get to scratch off another TBR card. So I have my coin. Here. And I have my skull jar. So I'm gonna open this up and we're gonna scratch off one of these cards. So, think, yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, because they don't really like mix very well because the cards are too big for the skull jar. So I have this one. It has two spots to put sorry, I'll put it to the camera, not to the light. Yeah, so it's two spots where I can scratch off, and so I will read those two books. So let's give it a whirl. I need a surface to scratch on, I think. I'll do it on the back of my iPad. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So the first one so I gotta stop. So the first one I've scratched off, it's a biggie. It's The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which I haven't read yet, but I've had since like around when the last Twilight book came out. So that came out in like 2008. So it's been a long time on my TBR. That's hilarious. Definitely gonna read it because I hear it's actually like pretty decent. So let's try the other side. I'm crying, like seriously. Okay, let's try the other side. Let's try the other side. It's probably gonna be a huge book too. Okay. Okay. I would scratch on camera, but it's kind of awkward. Maybe I'll try some sort of shot where I scratch this off camera so it's easier to see. But, so, I think, do I have this book still physically? I don't know. So, I've scratched off The Break by Katerina Vermette, which is, I think she's a local author, actually. I live in Winnipeg, so local author, I think. Yeah, so, so we have The Host, and we have The Break. Those two, I don't mind reading. I just find scratching off The Host, like, really funny for some reason. Let's get to reading. Actually, let's let me find The Host first, because that's probably what I'm gonna start with. Yeah, I'll find it on my shelves and then I'll show it to you, and then yeah, so see you in a minute.
A few moments later.
Okay. Hi. So I have The Host by Stephanie Meyer. You can see how stained it is, and it hasn't even been cracked open. So yes. This is gonna be interesting. When was this published? When was this published? 2008. Yeah. So I bought it in 2008-ish. Yeah, it doesn't smell that bad. I don't know why I immediately went to smell it, but yeah, it's pretty stained, pretty old. But yeah, because it's almost like this book is almost 20 years old. Oh my god. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, I have The Host, and I believe The Break is on my e-reader, but I'll get to it after I start this. So yeah. It's gonna be interesting to read something different by Stephanie Meyer that's not like Twilight. related. Alright, see you soon for some reading and doing things and stuff like that. So hi. So it's been a minute since I updated you guys. I've just been reading slowly. I'll try and make a better update at some point of the plot of the book and how it's going. But I just want to say that I've been still reading. I just haven't been doing all that much because I've been dealing with some health stuff. So yeah, slowly but surely making my way through the host, and yeah. So hopefully I will get some more vlog shots in the meantime. So, hope you're having a good day. Hi guys, I'm back. I read some more of the host, so I am currently around 50% through, maybe like 46-ish percent through, and I forgot to kind of introduce this book and tell a little bit about the plot. So this book is basically follows an alien who arrives in Earth. They are implanted into a host, which is a human being, and this human being's name before they passed on was Melanie, and basically we find out through the course of the book that these souls, as they're called, the aliens, have taken over Earth. They pretty much have taken control over people's bodies, and everyone can either be a host or a human. There's not very many humans left. And this soul that has taken over Melanie's body, their name is Wanderer, and they have been to many other planets before and have conquered many planets. And they find this specific situation more difficult because Melanie is not entirely dead. So it's written very interestingly in terms of like them having to share thoughts, memories, stuff like that. I find that a really intriguing part of the book. Yeah, so that's basically the plot as it stands. The souls are trying to find the last vestiges of humanity in general. Wanderer is getting closer and closer with Melanie, so basically how it goes. And basically I remember, like, I've never read this book before, and this is like the oldest book on my TBR. So like I remember buying this when it first came out, but I never thought to pick up and read it because I guess sci-fi was something that didn't interest me, or maybe it was like, oh, it's not as good as Twilight, so whatever being good as Twilight meant. I'm enjoying myself. There's definitely like a lull. There's a period where there's some action in it where like, oh, what's gonna happen? Then it's like, okay, we have this period of calm, sort of, but someone in my 8th grade class did a book report on the host, and all I remembered from the plot of it, because they outlined all the like the whole plot of the book in their presentation. I can't believe I remember this, but like I remember it taking place in a certain setting, and I have recently, sort of recently in the book, arrived at this setting. What else do I want to say? I also recently started reading The Break by Katharina Vermette, and basically this book follows a bunch of characters sort of in the same, some of them are in the same family, some of them live in the same area, and it's set in Winnipeg, which pretty cool, and like I recognize some of the street names and stuff like that. This book follows sort of the events surrounding something bad happening to one of the family members. Forgot to mention that this family is indigenous, and it's just them trying to figure out what has happened and who was responsible and stuff like that. Definitely content warnings for SA, alcoholism, drug use, stuff like that. I'm only around like 50% all the way through, and it's very hard to read at some points because of what happened. That is sort of the crux of the story, but it is really, really good, and I'm really invested in what's going on. And yeah, so hopefully I don't look too frumpy today. I kind of decided I wanted to be more spring-like, but I did up my cardigan, so I don't I don't know exactly how that looks on camera. So for now, let's do a little book haul. I went to the mall yesterday. I needed some stuff, and obviously there's a bookstore in the mall, so I had to get some stuff at the bookstore. I only got 3 things though, is my usual game plan. But so the first thing I came in to get, hopefully I can get this off without damaging the cover. Just one of those sticker things. Okay, that's been taken care of. Okay, so the first thing I got from Indigo was Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. This is the author of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This book is basically about a woman who runs a cat rescue in 1920s Montreal, set in Canada because the author's Canadian. She turns to a grouchy but charming magician to help save her cat shelter, and it's a cozy fantasy. I'm excited to read it. I'm currently listening to on audio Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies because I had not read it previously, but I'm really enjoying myself in that book, so I figured why not pick up this book, and it's for an online book club possible pick. So, and I was really interested in the premise also, so I'm gonna probably read it regardless. And then the next book I have here, very popular, as there's a popular series on Crave or HBO Max, and I'm sure you know which popular series I'm referring to, and that is This is Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. Yeah, so this is a hockey romance. I myself I never really gotten into romance or hockey romance in that vein, but since this is a big hit and I'm like, well, might as well try it, I'm excited for this. Yeah, not much else to say. I'm sure you've either seen the show or have heard of the show. It's a Canadian show, Canadian author, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. And I think this is part of the this is book 2 in the Game Changer series. I've not read the first one. I think some of them are following different characters, but I'm not sure. So we'll try that eventually. And the next book I saw, and I kind of just was like, whoa, okay, I need this in my life right this second. And this is Ultimate Anime by Joe O'Connell, 100 Essential Films and Series. So this is, I'll show you the cover, because the cover is what struck me, and the back as well. It has sort of original art on the back of different animes, and then if you go through the book, it has different animes and series. So we got Berserk, and yeah, some I don't really recognize, but Spirited Away, my bae. Why did I say that? Yeah, just lots of fun. Obviously there's Pokemon, and there's Ghost in the Shell. Just lots of information about different anime series. So yes, I'm excited to dive into this book and watch some more series and watch some more anime in the future, because I'm currently, if you're wondering, I'm currently making my way through Naruto Shippuden and Jujutsu Kaisen at the moment. I'm not caught up on either. So I think, from what I understand, Naruto Shippuden is done, but I'm not caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen yet, so no spoilers, please. So that's my little update for now. Hopefully I can get some more reading done. I read some more of The Break today, and I also read a lot of The Host yesterday. I hope you enjoyed this part of the video, and I'll continue on till I finish. Oh, well, till something exciting happens, and then maybe I'll talk about it. But I hope you're enjoying the video so far. See you in the next update. I'm back in my bookshelf setup, and I'm going to close out the vlog. I managed to read quite a few books. I'm pretty sure you're wondering how I did with The Host, and let me just say, The Host was actually pretty good. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. Basically what that means to me is that there was some things that didn't make this book a perfect 5-star, a perfect book, but I had fun. It was really interesting and a different sort of take to a normal apocalypse novel or an alien invasion novel than I would have expected. Also, in true Stephanie Meyer fashion, it had a love triangle. So basically, if you don't know what The Host is, it was published in 2008. I think the year Breaking Dawn was published. So it's an adult novel. Wanderer does find out more about Melanie and Melanie's memories, and doesn't know whether or not to follow those memories and to find the people that Melanie was trying to find. And yeah, it was very much an insular novel. It focused on a very contained group of people, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. Some of it was just really mundane and boring, and sometimes it got a little, in general, it got a little too easy. Some of the stuff that happened in this book, they would go for supplies and they would just make it, you know, and there was a lot of things where it demonstrated that it was gonna have sort of that happy ending, and I don't know, I just liked it. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked it. As I said, it felt kind of childish, but again, that didn't detract from my enjoyment, clearly. Let's see how many pages this is. At 619 pages, I mean, yeah, I want Stephanie Meyer to continue in this series, like, really badly, and I hope she does eventually give word whether or not she's going to continue The Host, because it was initially supposed to be another series. I don't plan on ever watching the movie because I feel like that will sour my enjoyment of this. Yeah, so I tackled the oldest book, and you can see it's the oldest book because the pages are yellowed. Overall, just surprising and wish I read it sooner. The next thing that I finished was The Break by Katarina Vermette, and this was really good also. I also gave it a 4.5. I didn't really have much bad things to say or concerning things or things that, you know, didn't work well for me. I just felt like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was like a full 5-star, but the story is so important, and I think it deserves a lot more than my flimsy rating system can give it. I think I mentioned in a previous clip what this was kind of about, but it's following family and relatives surrounding a horrific event that happens to one of the characters and the people surrounding that, and the police get involved and there's witnesses and stuff, and they're just trying to figure out what happened. And it's an indigenous story, like a modern indigenous story, and it was really good. A tough read, but really excellent. The prose was just simple, straightforward, and I definitely want to continue with Vermette's work because she is a Winnipegger, and definitely want to continue reading what she has on offer. So I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give too much away, but I do want to say to look into trigger warnings, some of the content of the book, because it can get quite intense. Yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it took so long to make, and I hope you enjoyed it all the same. And I also wanted to say that I hope to post more content on my Patreon, which is free, for like newsletters and other stuff like that. So I hope you do check it out. And check out my other content as well. Yeah, I'm really pleased with what I've read this video, and I'm really happy that I'm continuing to make content and trying to evolve my content in a way that feels right to me, and I really hope you see that too. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Goodbye.